think we're good to go live. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late, but I'm here. Make sure I don't have food on me. So I was scarfing. Okay, good. Make sure that's muted. Okay, we're good on the tubes as well. Perfect. Split view. TikTok. Copy this. Hey everybody that's tuning in, y'all already know I got it. It takes me like a minute to get set up with a few things, and also giving the platforms time to notify people that we are here and that we are ready to get rocking and rolling. Hey BB, how are you? I see that you are back from earlier. I appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you being here. So if you had a question I did not hit on earlier, guess what? You can ask it now because you hear early, you hear first. So ask your question if I didn't get it answered. Today, if you were here during the earlier session, we just do a recap of the earlier session tonight, right? So I can get my notary buddies that were not here earlier so they can get the same information. Obviously, it's never going to be exactly the same, but they're gonna get it, right? Got my little intro song. I chose a different one for this time. And it depends on the streaming platform on. I have to be careful what song I play because they're like, "Oh no, that song." I don't do naughty songs. It's just that they're like, "Nope, we have to mute your entire volume." All right, okay, good. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's see who we have. One, Lubuk. I appreciate you being here. Bivel, okay, the V, I think it is, right? You guys are asking questions already. Let me see what's easiest for me for questions. I don't know why my screen is lower than it needs to be because I'm tired of like crouching over to look at stuff. My neck. All right, let's see what question we got. I am trying to book for the class and it's not letting me get into the link. Which class are you trying to book for? I can help you real quick right now. Tell me which one. If they flag me, they're just gonna flag me right now because I want to listen to my jam, so I can help. Decatur meet and greet. Okay, you saying that one's not working? Let's look at it together. So if you guys don't know, sorry. Let's do a song without lyrics. How about that? This is the other one I listened to. Let's do that one because it distracts me from talking. All right, so if that one's not working, let's see right now if something's down because earlier it was up, but technology changes. Let's see real quick. So if you guys know what we're talking. Oh, hey, that's the lady from Phoenix Notary Pros. I can't remember her name right now. But anyway, sorry, I get distracted. So for those who don't know what we're talking about, we do have a Georgia live meet and greet coming up this Sunday. This Sunday was the 26th. So if you go to my profile, so tap on my face up top and go get there, right? For those guys over here on the tubes, it's the link in a chat. So if we click on it, let's see what's happening. I click on it, it asks me if I want to go. Are you stuck on this page? Oh, it went through already. But if you go here and you click on secure your seat now, let's see what happens. No, it popped right up. Let me see. Oh, I'm not on my account. Because what I was gonna do is just send you the link directly, but I'm like every device that I have that's not this phone is not logged into my TikTok. So I can send you a message directly with the direct link. Try a different device. It's Sunday. Sorry, did I say Saturday? I apologize. It is Sunday. It's Sunday, April 26th. Hold on, I have to turn the AC down because it's too warm. Give me a second. All right, because when I get going, it gets toasty in my office. So let me know if it was able to load. If not, I'll just send you a link directly. I just have to do a few clicking arounds. Actually, why am I making it so complicated? Click here, book your seat or secure your seat. Here is the thing, copy. Oh, it's complicated because, again, I'm not on. Because I know on here in the chat that the link's not going to work. I don't know. Sometimes TikTok changes stuff on me. I don't know if that link will actually work. That's clickable or not. So, oh, duh. Let me just send you from. Hold on. I'm just going to send it to you in a messenger on TikTok. I don't know if it's going to work the other way, but it's going to come from my business account because that's the one I'm logged in on. So the one you guys are listening to me on, that's my Notary Buddy account. Like this is where I talk to y'all. But the one I just sent you a message off of, that is my business account, Gen Mobile Notary, my actual business. So you may have to accept that one and allow it to send you messages. But that's a direct link. But okay, let's keep on going. Any other question I see on here? Decatur meet and greet. Thank you for that. Oh, look, the song is already over. Let's see what else. Because after it stops this time, I got to do the intro and we can get started. I'm a new notary, so still learning. I appreciate you being here. Make sure we're good. Shioki, appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here. Okay, now let's go ahead and I think we're good, right? I just had to answer some questions. So everybody, welcome in. My name is Ladero Wharf. I got to drink some water. Hold on. I did not do my dance party before we started, but it's still warm in here. And I told y'all earlier, these people coming, so I'm getting different insurance, and they got to come in and steal my blood, right? And so the lady called me today twice. She was like, make sure that you're hydrated, because they know that I am a really bad person when they stick me and like nothing comes out. So she's like, make sure you're hydrated. So I've been like forcing myself to drink a crazy amount of water today. And I got to get through this whole thing before this live ends, because I think I'm going to do 2 more before I go to bed tonight. So I got to keep up on it. But anyway, you guys, my name is Ladero Wharf. I am a notary in the beautiful peach state of Georgia. I have been in a notary space here in Georgia for 5 years. I'm in my 5th year now. Prior to that, I've done a lot of stuff. Mostly my stuff has been in real estate, right? I was an investor. I did fix and flips. I had short-term rentals, long-term rentals. I've had multiple, I don't tell y'all this a lot. What is it called? Mobile homes. I had a few mobile homes, right? I did all of that. And prior to that, I did property management. I worked as an escrow assistant at title. So this is the space that I love to be in, right? This is the space. And so now I am a notary, like I said, in the beautiful peach state of Georgia, where I focus on 2 things. I focus on 2 things now, because y'all heard I did a lot of stuff. I focus on 2 things within my notary space. I focus on being a dang on good notary, and that led me to specializing in working with attorneys. The attorneys that I prefer to work with are estate planning attorneys, elder law attorneys, personal injury, and also probate. Again, elder law, estate planning, personal injury, and probate. That's my niche. That's where I operate. And I've been doing that for about 18 months. Well, it's like 2 years. I keep saying 18 months to 2 years. It has been 2 years. But that's where I've been specializing in. The other side of my notary business is I focus on apostille facilitation, right? So what is apostille facilitation? We still haven't gotten into that yet. I'll get there eventually. But essentially, just real overly simplified, it's when a client, a person, someone needs documents to be used in another country. So they go through an authentication or an apostille process here within the United States to be sent over to the other country for that country to then either accept or deny those documents, right? So I just assist. I facilitate that process for my client because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do all the research. I do all of that. I connect them and I do all the stuff and I get paid for that, right? That's what I do. That is a very oversimplification of it. Bad simplification, but that's one of the things I do, right? So with that, let me go ahead and try to get to our normal music. Where is it? Just so I don't get flagged for anything that might pop up, any other song that may pop up. So what did I say? Notary, apostille facilitation. The other thing I do is show up for my notary buddies, right? I do that by being live. Sometimes I'm lucky and I get to hang out with you guys twice a day, right? So this is one of those days I get to hang out twice a day. I show up for you guys by being on these lives. I do coaching, I do training, I do a mentorship. We are doing a meet and greet this Sunday where we will be diving into some training for you guys. It's going to be me and 2 other hosts, right? I'm a co-host. And so there's 3 of us is going to be putting this event on. We're going to be talking about topics. I wrote it in my notes. Hold on. I'm looking for my notes. I got to step off camera. I really need to stop doing that. But give me a second. We finally finalized it. I mean, this was last Friday, but I still I haven't told y'all what we actually going to be covering. I write a lot of notes. Hold on. What did I say on this one? Actually, I think it's on a different piece of paper. But because this was meeting 1 and meeting 2, we had a third meeting where we finalized stuff. Anyway, I'll just off the top of my head. On Sunday's meetup, we're going to be talking about building a notary business, right? We're going to have essentially 3 sections, 3 segments. And in those 3 segments, there's going to be 2 courses being taught or 2 topics being covered in each of those segments. So the first segment, I believe we're going to be talking about building your notary business, so getting general notary work, like getting yourself out there, that kind of stuff, right? And then the second segment or second part of that first segment is going to be about building direct business. We're going to also talk about apostilles, of course. We're going to talk about wedding officiant, venue renting, like venue, what is it, events, venue spaces? I don't do it, so I don't know. The reason that we're going to be doing that is because the venue that we're going to be at is one of the hosts. It's her venue. Right? So we're going to talk to you guys about how she started that business, because she started as a notary. Then she went into being a wedding officiant. And now she's on wedding. Like her primary income is weddings and also event venues, right? Booking those events. And so that's something that we think that you guys should hear. So we're going to talk about that as well. But again, it is going to be mostly notary focused because that's what we do. That's what I specialize in. And some people ask if it's going to only be for new notaries or like people who have it's for everybody, right? Yes, we will have a large portion dedicated in the beginning of the day to those of us who are new notaries, because we need you guys to have a base understanding before we start feeding you guys through a fire hose, right? A fire hose. I can't speak today. So that's what's going to be happening there. And we will talk about more advanced topics. Of course, I'm going to talk about my business, how I built it, how I market for it. I can't do everything because I try to give myself the most amount of time to talk, because y'all know I can talk, right? So we did have to make sure you guys had time for food and using the restrooms. I did have to dip into some of my time, but that's okay because I like y'all. I hope I like all y'all. So anyway, that's where we're going. Let me keep on going. And it's Shiyoki. A short O. Shiyoki. Thank you. Shiyaki. Short O. Long O would be like Oscar. Short O would be like orange. See how the guys, this is how my brain works. I don't think I did that right, but let me know if I said it right. Is it Shiyaki? Shiyaki. I want to say yes. Oh, like lock. Okay, Shiyaki. Perfect. Thank you. You get how my brain works. Shiyaki. Thank you. Who else here? Welcome in, you guys. Let's go ahead and get talking about today. Oh, is there a price for the meet and greet? Yes, Shiyaki. It is $35. It is $35 because we're going to be feeding you guys, and we have a lot of giveaways. Yeah. So this one right here, I'm going to be honest with you right up front. Your boy is not taking a single penny home from this event because we poured it all back into you guys. Like, I'm being 100% real. So I know some people hold events to make money and take home stuff. Nope. I'm already in the negative. And it's okay, because I need you guys to come learn some information and start moving forward in your notary business, right? That's how I show up and give back to you guys. So we're just pouring that $35 that we're charging you right back into the event. So cool. Let's go with tonight's topic. So you guys can see on the as you can see on the thingy above my face, is that we're going to be talking about 5 things professional notaries do every single time. They always do this kind of stuff. They don't skip these things. I'm going to go over it. This is stuff that I've experienced, of course, and I fine-tuned, and also talking to other notaries. I've gotten their processes. We've all collaborated, and these are like the 5 things that after talking that we all do, in some form or fashion, right? So these are the 5 things that experienced notaries or professional notaries should say never skip. So first thing, what makes mistakes actually start to happen, even if you're a professional notary, mistakes start to happen. Let me turn my music down a little bit. Mistakes start to happen when we start trying to do everything solely based off of trying to remember, right? And I know that sounds weird because obviously when you have a process, it's committed to memory. But if you just have a random, like, oh, last time I did this time I'll do this. If you have one of those processes, then things get forgotten, right? So if we actually lock it in, I'm going to turn this camera so you guys see the beginning of the screen. And my eyes are still blue. We'll fix that in a second. So mistakes happen when you guys are trying to rely upon your memory instead of actually building a system for you, like triggers of memory. Let's say it that way. Building a system. If y'all don't know, I'm a very systems heavy person. So I know some of y'all are like, oh my gosh, here he goes with these systems again. That's how businesses run and operate. I'm just gonna be for real. And if I've never said this on this live, I have in previous businesses. I don't know why. I'm just like in my own way, in my own head. In previous businesses, I've gotten to hang out with 6 and 7 figure earners, right? And I don't say that to brag or anything, but like legitly, I was in rooms. I don't know how my little black behind got in these rooms, but I was in rooms with people who literally make what I did in 10 years in a year, right? And I got to learn some stuff from them. And one of the biggest things I learned that everything's a damn system. So therefore, I try to emulate that and make everything a system. So tonight we're going to talk about the 5 things that professional notaries do every single time. And guess what? You can turn it into a system so you never forget it. So starting with number 1, out of our foundational habits, number 1 is going to be verify everything first. I'm going to write it down real quick. Number 1, verify everything first. Oh, do I have enough space? F-I-R-S-T. Yes, it fit. Verify everything first, right? What does that mean? I'm just going to stick with black tonight because my blue's dying, the green's dying, everything's dying on me. And I only have 1 black marker left. I really got to go to the store. So what does that mean? Verify everything first. We're going to talk about IDs, names, and the documents. Number 1, the ID. Number 2, names. Number 3, documents. Ooh, am I going to make it fit? Documents. Yeah, it fit. All right, so what do I mean by here? We talked about this before. Every session I do builds upon itself to help you guys learn this information, right? So when we're looking at verifying IDs, what does that mean for your state? Let me pull this up. So I showed y'all this earlier. This right here, right? So this is a Power 5. It's for those of you guys who, hold on. Sorry. I'm surprised nobody yelled at me yet. I just remembered. Flip. There we go. Is that better, TikTok? Is that better for you guys? Put a 1 in the chat if it's better for you. Look, I did it before anybody yelled at me. Good. I remembered. Okay, cool. So I shared this. So this is a resource that I like to give everybody. Again, this is overly simplified. This is what I call the Power of 5. This is what we do. This is backwards for me now. This is the things that we should do as a notary by default every single time. This is called the Power of 5, right? Your state may have a little bit slightly, like there may be some additions to this, but there should never be any subtractions from this. So our main goal when we first get somewhere, of course, say your niceties, hello, all the kind of stuff, we got to identify the person, right? Well, the person must physically appear before us. There is absolutely no state in this country right now where you as a notary can notarize a document if that person is not in front of you, whether that's like belly to belly, face to face, like we are here in Georgia, which if I remember, we have something really cool coming, y'all. I spent 2 hours reading House bills and legalese. My brain hurts, but I'm glad I did it because I think we have something really cool coming for us in Georgia. Anyway, so personal appearance, whether that's in person or online, wink, 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 if you're in Georgia, right? Or then you got to verify their identity. However you do that is based on your state laws. Then we got to do all these other things, the 3, 4, and the 5, right? I talk about it all the time. If you want this, even for you guys over there, hey, who is that on Natural Jesse? Hey, welcome in. If you guys want this Power 5, it is, for those of you on the tubes, there's a link I just posted in the chat. It should still be there, even if you just joined. If it's not there, let me know. Click that link. Scroll to the middle of the page where it says free resources or something like that, resources for you. The Power 5 is there. And there's a little bit more explanation on what I mean by the Power 5, right? And there's also some other stuff there. Specifically, there is something there. I think it's number 4. Yeah, it's the 4th one. There's something there from tonight's training. So everything I'm going to say tonight, if you want a nice little pretty note-taking laid out form of it, I made one for you. I forgot to tell y'all this morning that it was there, but it's there. It's been there since like last night. No, from like early this morning. That's when I made it. Anyway, so getting back over here, what does your state say about verifying an ID? For us in Georgia, it has to be a valid. I keep on saying current because current equals valid, but it needs to be a valid, valid government federal issued ID. What does valid mean for the state of Georgia? Valid means that it's current. What does current mean? That means it's unexpired. Y'all see how dumb the law is? Why can't they just say unexpired? But no, they say it must be valid, which valid means current, which current means unexpired. So for the state of Georgia, we have to have a current, valid, currently unexpired government photo issued ID, right? So valid government photo issued ID. That's what we can accept. What can your state accept? Can you accept a driver's license that expired 6 days ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago? Some of you can. We can't, right? Some of us can accept what was it? There was something weird that I saw that one of you guys states can accept. I can't remember right now. But whatever your state says a valid ID looks like, once you get that, go ahead and then verify everything on that ID. Do the names match? Do the names on that ID match the names that are going to be notarized in this document? The way that that person is going to be signing on these documents. I know that's a topic that I don't want to break into right now, where people are like, oh, like, whatever your state says, whatever your guidance is, follow your state and your guidance. One of the biggest things that I see, I wouldn't say that I see, but something that happens a lot are middle names versus middle initials. What do you call it? I won't say senior names, so that's not the word. What's the word called when you get married and you change your last name? What is that called? I want to say your biological name, but that is not right. Maiden name. Thank you. Y'all, it's 7:45. Your surname. I like that. Maiden name or surname. Thank y'all. Y'all help me out here. So like sometimes you will see that like they don't match, right? What does your state say that you can do that if that doesn't match, how can you verify that it's the same person? I just simply asked them, hey, can you provide me a different form of identification? Because this happens when people get married and they don't change their ID. I have changed my name before because I'm running. No, I'm joking. I'm not running. There's just like this last time I changed my name to just add an additional name. My family name changed before because my parents got remarried, right? And I was whatever it was, like the kid, like my siblings and I, we were all readopted by my stepdad and all that kind of stuff. So our name has changed. My name has changed multiple times. It is a pain in the butt. I am sorry, ladies, that is the expectation for you. If you don't want to change your name, don't do it because it can be a pain in the butt to do. So when people get married and they may not change your name, or in my case, you may get adopted and your name just right. So things like that. Technically, all my siblings got adopted. I went back to the family's last name. Like when we got off the boat, I went back to that name just so I can continue that lineage. And then later I didn't like it, so I changed it again. TMI, which that's what happened. So make sure the names are matching, right? Does the name match what's on the document? Verify that whatever way that your state law says that you can do that, not the way that the signing service tells you to do it, not the way that the notary across the way tells you to do it. However, your state, where's that little book? However, your state laws and statutes tell you that you must verify a person and see if their names match, all that kind of stuff. You do it that way, right? I don't know how many times I can say it, but that's what we do. I know some forms, if you guys are out there doing loan signings or other type of stuff, even like deeds, I've seen it on deeds as well, right? That whole marriage situation, divorce situation, name change situation. A lot of times, yeah, I know y'all can probably barely see that. Let me write it in red because that's not going to work. A lot of times there may be an accompanying AKA form, or also known as, or even right on the signature line, we may have also known as, right? I don't want to get too deep into this one, but for me, what's being signed on that line, even though there is an AKA, is the name of that person that's showing up in front of me. If I verify your ID and both of your names are on the document, you're signing what's on that ID. Because I have no proof. Let's just say Sarah Smith went to Sarah Jones, and her document says Sarah Jones, aka Sarah Smith, or Sarah Smith, aka Sarah Jones. She's signing Sarah Smith in front of me, or I'm not notarizing it, because every piece of her identity that I verified said Sarah Smith, right? Have you guys ever had a situation when the mom and the daughter and the granddaughter are named the same things? That just happened to me last week. all of them had the same names. Typically, when guys do it, it's the senior, the junior, the second, the first, whatever, right? But ladies stopped doing it a really long time ago, except for like Queen Elizabeth. She was like a number, right? But ladies stopped doing it a long time ago. So all three of them had the exact same name. First and like, well, one of them, whatever, somebody got married and they changed their name. So it would be the daughter, right? I don't, whatever, the heck. But they had the same first and last names. So how do I know which one is which? Or if somebody 10 years from now is looking at documents to verify something, especially if it has anything to do with a trust or a piece of property or anything like that, Sarah Jones, like they're saying Sarah Jones signed it. Sarah Jones did not exist at that point in time, right? So who's Sarah Jones? So that's why for us, I don't know how you guys do it for your state, but I have to do it. Whoever is in front of me, whatever you presented to me, even if you change your name 700 times, I'm going by what was verified in front of me, and that's what you better sign as, or I'm not notarizing it. End of story. I'll keep going. What other questions we got? I thought Georgia didn't allow remote online notary. Is that right? Ms. Averill, you are absolutely correct. Georgia does not allow a remote online notary, but we have, I know some of y'all are not like, sorry, we got to take a quick left turn, right turn, whatever turn we're taking. If y'all are nerds like me, there's a House bill that has been presented. It's been there for a minute. I finally got around to reading it. This House bill has every which way, every definition, how we're supposed to do it. The only thing that it is not, this proposed House bill has not named was required platforms. But it told us what the platforms must have. It has yet to name, if we are allowed to do RON in Georgia, these are the 4 platforms that we can use. A lot of states do that. Some states leave it open and says, hey, as long as your platform can do X, Y, and Z, you can use it, right? So Georgia Notaries, I didn't want to announce this yet because it's not, don't get too excited because I don't want y'all to be pissed at me. Don't get too excited because it just doesn't introduce. It passed one level. We have another level for it to pass for the governor to sign before Governor Kemp can sign it and put it into a plan. But if this is accepted and we get rolling on this, January 1st, 2027 is when all the pieces must be in place. That don't mean that they're going to allow us to do it then, but all the pieces, all the platforms, all the rules, all the regulation, all the laws must be finalized before or by January 1st of 2027. Y'all, that's 7.5 months away. That's seven and a little bit of half over months away, right? So I'm excited about it. I spent 2 hours going through this, looking up terms, understanding the legal laws, because that's what I do. That's why I can stand here and talk to you guys like this, right? Because how many people really gonna do that? How many people really gonna do that? I had to read it and reread it and read it again, and I was like, I don't know what this word means, so I had to go look up it in a legal dictionary to make sure I understood what they were saying. But I think overall, it's looking pretty damn good for us. It really is. Just have to see if Governor Kemp accepts. Is that our governor? I keep on saying Kemp. Is he our governor? I don't even know. See, y'all let me know if you're in Georgia. I don't even know who our governor is right now. I just need the man to sign it. I'm sure it's a man. I just need him to sign it. Let's get back to tonight's topic. The next one, verify everything first. Oh, and I was going to say this. When you're verifying all of this first, one, you're supposed to, but because this is foundational habits for professional notaries, once you verify all of this first, it makes it so much easier to get through the rest of your appointment, right? To get through the rest of your appointment, it makes it so much easier because you don't have to go back and correct and do things. So next, we have control the appointment. This is my favorite thing because so many people don't realize how much power that we have in controlling. Control the appointment. Let's shorthand this one. Control that appointment, right? We have the power to control the appointment because we are the notary. We're the ones that are assisting with these documents. We're the ones that's, how do you want to say it? Guiding it, making sure that the signer doesn't miss initials or signatures so that we can properly notarize. So that's one thing I think some people miss, right? As a notary, I want to say a Georgia notary, but I believe this to be the case for everyone, every single state. And I've had somebody go back and forth with me on this. I don't get paid to argue with people, so y'all know I don't. But there was a notary who argued with me that their state allows them to notarize documents with blank spaces. I know there's some specific cases when you're doing like loan signing and things like that, especially when the documents call for a record book number. The client doesn't have that. Hell, the title doesn't have that. You know who has that? The county, once those documents are filed. So there are specific exceptions in certain scenarios, right? But generally speaking, 98% of the time, we are not to notarize documents with blank spaces, because especially if that notarization requires the signer or signers to affirm or swear or take an oath to the truthfulness of those documents. If there's a blank space, how are you taking a true? How can you know that the information is true when no information exists? Because as soon as we sign it, they sign it, and we notarize it, and it's sent off to another party or somebody else, they can write whatever they want in there, right? Now, who all in trouble? Everybody in trouble. Florida says no blank spaces. Exactly. Dennis, welcome in. Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. So all of our states should say no blank spaces. Because a notary buddy that disagreed with me, we took some time. I pulled up her state's handbook online, and I was like, go look at page 17. It literally says it right there. She was a notary for like 10 years. Anyway, sorry, don't do that, Ladero. Keep on going. So when we're controlling the process, we, as in you lead the appointment. Lead the appointment, lead the signing, whatever you want to call it. I guess I was doing numbers before, huh? So number 1 and number 2, let me just bring this in front of me so I can see it. Well, you guide the signer, you set the tone. Oh, I did this last time. Let me move this down. So I didn't like the order earlier. Boop. Number 1, you set tone. Number 2, this is where you're going to say guide. Is that what I want to say? Guide the signer, lead the process is all the same. Guide signer. Number 3, lead process. All right, there we go. So what does this mean? Real quick, let's go through it. So when we're looking at this and we're controlling the appointment, we set the tone. Let me give you guys an example. I know it may be long, but please listen and write this down if you can take notes this quick. Anytime I have an appointment, I always set the tone. I set expectations, right? I set expectations. Whoop, there you go. There you go. There y'all. Now y'all can see it. I set the expectations for the appointment. And this is what it can sound like. Let me grab my notary journal. I don't want to get ink all over my stuff. Let me clear my hands off a little bit. So in the very beginning, after I say hi and all that kind of stuff, and I verify they have their IDs, all that has happened already. We are sitting down. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we're going to go ahead and get the appointment started. This is my notary journal, right? This is my notary journal for everyone that's signing today, including my witnesses, because I am in a witness state. So including my witnesses, their information and along with yours will be going in my notary journal. I will be documenting some information off your IDs, whatever they gave to me, right? Their passports, whatever it is, into here, just so I have it for my records. If anything ever comes up and I'm asked about it in the future, I will have it here. So I fill that out and I'll let them know once I fill this out. This will just make an appearance later and I get rid of it. I put it on a table next to me. I put it in my notary bag. I get it out of the way. I set one expectation of what was happening, because I know some people know that we're notaries and we need to see their information, but some people are not aware that we're going to take their ID and then just start writing stuff down, right? So I let them know. I set that expectation that I will be doing this. And I tell them, hey, it's going to take me about 3 to 5 minutes to do this. That's where they can go ahead and chit chat and get stuff. Like if they got to move red, they got to put kids like silent stuff, whatever they got to do, that gives them time, right? And then we start. And before we start, I will have the documents. Let's just pretend this is a stack of documents, whatever you're working on. And I let them know these are the documents that we're going to be at. Because again, I work with attorneys. So the attorneys send me everything to print out, and I do everything I do under the guidance of an attorney. That's why I like working with attorneys, y'all. So I'm like, hey, these are all the documents you're going to be executing today. I just remind them I'm not an attorney. I cannot give legal advice. I don't care what the document is. It can be a school form. They provided it. I showed up to their house. They gave me a form. hey, I'm a notary. I'm not an attorney. I cannot give you legal advice. If you have any of that information, I just have to defer your questions to somewhere else, right? I give that whole little spiel that I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice, blah, 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 blah. And then I say, this is how we're going to flow. If I bring the documents, I'll let them know. This is going to be the flow of today's appointment. I do a lot of estate planning, so it's the flow of today's signing ceremony, right? This is going to be the flow of today's signing ceremony. These documents right here, they're on, like, these documents are between you, your family, and the attorney. It's none of my business what's in here, nor my witnesses. So since you've already had this conversation with the attorney, what I'm going to do is we're going to look at each document. I'll let you know what you're signing. When I say I let you know, what do I mean when I say let you know? I just tell the title. I point to the title, or I read it like, hey, this is going to be your trust. This is going to be your advanced healthcare directive, right? And I said, you already had these conversations, so I'm just going to turn to the pages. This is your appointment. Please feel free to stop me at any time that you have questions, because these are your documents, not mine. These are yours. If you want to verify something has not changed since the last conversation, please stop me. Because again, estate plans, a lot of people know where there some problems were, right? And they'll say, hey, there is something listed in there like the percentages. That's the biggest question. Like the percentages that are going to family members. I do not go through the documents. I don't know what those percentages are, but because I know my attorney's documents, if that makes sense, I know they don't need to know that I know. I will flip to section 2.3 or whatever it is for that attorney, and I'll say, here's the information. Feel free to review it. They look at it. I say, is it correct? Has it been corrected? If it's good, they're like, yes. I'm like, great. Now, do you mind if I turn to the signature pages? Because that's where we just need to make sure we collect some initials and some signatures for you. Is that okay? Flip like all 48, 58, 68 pages, and we go to the signature page. That's 3 pages in, because I know these documents. I also have them tagged. I don't think I said that earlier, but I will tag my documents, not for me, right? Of course, it helps me out, but I tag it for my clients. I didn't say this earlier, but with the tags, this is still setting expectations. I promise I'll move a little bit faster. I set the expectations. I don't know which way is the proper way, because everything's backwards to me. I set the expectations. If there's 2 signers, signer 1, you're blue. Signer 2, you're going to probably be orange, right? Because I want to make sure I have 2 contrasting colors. I don't want to use a blue and yellow or a green and yellow, because sometimes my eyes, they almost look the same sometimes. So I'm like, signer 1, you'll be blue. Signer 2, you'll be orange. And the same thing for my witnesses. Witness 1, you'll be green. Witness 2, you will be red. I will set those expectations so they can see where they're signing. Because their name is not always going to be printed under the line, right? So I give them those expectations. And then I let them know it's going to take us about, if you don't have any questions or anything like that, the appointment should last about 35 to 40 minutes. But we're always typically done within the hour. All expectations set. I know it sounds like I'm talking a lot, but all of that is done within like 3 to 5 minutes. So I don't have to stop and do breaks, right? I just flow. All of those expectations are done and set. So now, once I set the tone or I set the expectations, I guide the signers. I already told y'all that. I guide them through the documents. One of the biggest mistakes I made in the very beginning is to just give the signer all the documents, a huge stack, right? And what are they doing? They're turning one by one, which they have the right to. Never stop your signer from being able to turn one by one and read. If they want to do that, that's what they want to do. I set expectations. I let them know this has already been approved. Like, I would not be here if you and your attorney have not did a final sign off on everything. That's why I like working with attorneys, because I can't go out unless everything hasn't already been decided upon. It's pointless for me to go if they're still unsure and questions. It doesn't work that way in my space. I got to have everything decided upon before I arrive, right? And are there cases where the signer changes their mind since yesterday? Yes, they will. And guess what? I have a form that we can make notes on. I reach out to the attorney. I get the attorney on the phone. The client tells the attorney what changes they want to make, right? And I am taking notes of those changes. Section, whatever, page 15, whatever. Trust page 15, section 1.7. And I'll just do a quick little reminder for the attorney, because I will turn those notes into my attorney, right? I will turn them into her or him just so they remember that change needs to be made when these documents come back to their office. We still execute everything, right? In those cases, if I'm taking the documents back, the client will go ahead and like write, because we're never, whatever, I can't tell them that, but they will write those corrections in there and they will initial it, right? But I write clean corrections on my notes so I can get back to the attorney. Let me keep on going. I'm giving y'all too much of my system. So I guide the signer, right? And I lead the process, not only for the signers, but also for the witnesses, right? I sit my witnesses down in a very specific order. If people insist that I sit at the head of the table, I will, right? But a lot of times I'm in the South, and so a lot of times the head of the table is reserved for a specific person, and it ain't me, right? And so I will let them sit how they want to sit, unless I have to tell them to rearrange for the ease of everything. Normally, like somebody will sit at the head of the table. If it's not me, let's do the head of table. I honestly don't like sitting at the head of the table because it makes things a little bit more awkward for me because I can't reach if there's two people, right? So I will have one spouse sit at the head of the table, and then right around the corner, can y'all even see me? Right around the corner, the other spouse will sit. Right across from that second signer or spouse sits me, because guess what? I need water. It's easier for me to take, because in estate planning, each spouse has their own set of documents and they have combined documents. It's easier for me to just hand documents to each of them, right? Because we're sitting in a little triangle, right? So I can hand documents to each of them. Or even handing documents to them, I can easily see that they're signing on the proper line, because now they're both right there versus being a person away from me. That's why I prefer that sitting, right? And then what will happen is I will have the witnesses on the same side of the table as me and then around the corner. And how does it normally work? I give the documents to the client, first signer, pass them to the second signer passes them across the table, kitty corner, to witness number one. Witness number one will pass it to witness number two, or we'll reverse, right? So the witness, whatever, witness number one is sitting closer to the second signer. It depends on their table and the size, right? They're sitting closer to the second signer signs everything, passes it to witness one passes it across the table to witness two passes it to me, because a lot of times I'm the last one to notarize documents or sign documents. Sometimes attorneys put my notarization before the witnesses. We just roll with it, right? And so it just depends on what attorney it is, how I sit people up. I know that was probably confusing. It's because each of my attorneys draft their documents differently, and I know their style. So I sit my people, setting expectations, I sit them in appropriate areas. And after we sit down and I start going through stuff and it's not right, the flow isn't right, I have people get up and change. I'm not the signers, because I'm like, y'all can stay there, but the witnesses, and we got to switch, y'all. This is not working. And they just laugh at me. I'm like, no, because this whole process got to be smooth. And us having to crisscross applesauce, that ain't working. I need you to get up and switch. This last signing that I did, we switched twice. I'm like, this is still not working. Everybody just get up. We about to play musical chairs because this is not working, right? And after they laughed at me and after we sat down, everybody was like, that was so much better. I'm like, I know, because I don't know what was going on here, but it was not right. So let's keep on going. Any questions? Oh, wait, there are questions. Let me see what we got. I just got my LLC last month. Congratulations. Dennis, you're out in Florida, right? Yeah, you're in Florida. Congratulations. Have you ever done a Spanish client and had no idea what they were translating? How does that work? We're in a good spot for me to take a break and answer that question. Real quick, I can only give you answers based on Georgia law. Georgia law says that if I am notarizing documents for a person that speaks a different language, we have to be able to communicate. And language could be sign language, right? When I say a different language, maybe they are nonverbal. Maybe they can't talk at that moment, right? Whatever it is, the state of Georgia, my Georgia law, notary law, says that I and the signer must be able to communicate in a common language, or in a way, like in a common language. That's all I can say. We must be able to communicate in a common language. So to answer your question directly, if I have a Spanish speaker, I just send my spouse, because he's fluent in Spanish. He lived in Puerto Rico for 4 years or something like that, right? He trying to get me to move there. I'm like, I'm going to Colombia. You can go to Puerto Rico. So his Spanish is far more fluent than mine, right? And so whatever. So I just send him, or I send another notary. I just don't do stuff that I can't do. Um, some people try to say, "Oh, we're just going to use Translate." Absolutely not. When the law says that I can use a Google Translate or something like that to communicate with my signers, fantastic. Let me say this real quick because this has happened. Have I been able to sit and talk with people and we are able to understand and communicate, but then they take the documents, let's just say it's like a couple, like a power of attorney or something like that. They take the documents and scan it because on Google Translate or different apps, you can scan it and then like put it over to your native language so you can read it much faster. However, context can get lost because a power of attorney is written in English legalese, not any other language's legalese. So stuff can get lost. But the thing is, as long as we can communicate and we can have a conversation and they understand what we're doing, they acknowledge that they understand what they're signing, I'm going to keep on going. But if we're talking and all they can say is yes, no, that's not enough for me. That's not enough for me, right? And it's funny because even in some of the appointments that I've had that have native, like with native Spanish speakers, I'll be asking them questions. I'll be checking doing all my notary checks, and they're just like, yeah, 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 and I'm like, but then I'll ask them a question in Spanish. They're like, "Oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me you spoke Spanish?" And I'm like, "Because I don't fluently, so I do not hold my notary appointments in Spanish." I was like, "Guess what? A lot of times my spouse is with me to be the witness because I'm a witness state, right? He's always a lot of times, unless he's running his own business and he's busy with clients that day, he is with me, right? And so then we just switch. I am no longer the notary on that appointment. I am now the witness, and my spouse takes over as a notary. They're like, "Why didn't you tell me you speak Spanish?" I'm like, "Because you didn't tell me you needed Spanish. That's why. I was talking to you in English and you were agreeing and saying yes." And I'm like, "This don't feel right." Right? So we have had that happen a lot. Let's say, "Hey, welcome in. Creation Backup. I appreciate you being here. Bless Pat. How are you?" Let's see. That makes sense. Yep. The title company was Spanish, but I had no idea what was going on. And she was translating. Oh, I missed that part. We cannot use translators in Georgia. We can't. So it has to be a direct one-to-one conversation. I cannot use a translator. I cannot, but let me tell you this. There's a difference between a translator and an interpreter. Know your state's laws on each. I cannot use a translator because by default, that means that that person, um, I don't like, this is one I stay away from. If y'all know Nashonda Peaks, she's out here in Georgia. She is better to explain this than I am, 100%. Because where that comes into play for me is with ASL clients. I do have a few ASL clients, right? I don't speak ASL. However, we can all write in English. So therefore we can continue. But in some of the cases, right? The last one I did, the husband, he was able to sign and also verbally speak English, right? But his wife wasn't able to, but she was also involved in something. She had to have something signed. We had a third party interpreter at the hospital because the hospital provides those, and it was like on a teller screen. And then the wife was communicating with that person on the screen, and that person on the screen was telling me everything the wife said. Some people may think it's rude. I mean, I acknowledge the person on the screen, but I was looking at the wife the entire time. Whenever I communicate, I'm looking at her. I'm talking to her, right? I'll tell the person on the screen, "Thank you, I appreciate you for being here," but his wife and I having a conversation. She's just acting as that additional mouthpiece. The husband could have done that for me. Listen, the husband could have been an interpreter for me. However, I personally would find that kind of, I wouldn't say sus, but he has something to gain or lose if we don't get these documents notarized. That third party person on that teleprompter that is provided by a organization where she has a license and all this kind of stuff and she can lose it, she has nothing to gain if these documents get signed or not. She already getting paid, right? Does that make sense? So know your laws around those two things because a translator and an interpreter are two different things. Okay, let's keep on going. Yes, Florida is definitely predominantly Spanish. One thing that I would say, make sure you get a Spanish-speaking notary buddy in your pocket, and you guys can just help each other. Like help each other all the time. Because I know y'all can be, As long as you're not notarizing your own signature, I believe in Florida, you can also be the witness, right? So I would still get one. You may not always need to use, she may not always need to use use you as a witness, but it will be beneficial to your business because guess what? Let me tell you this, unless your state specifically says, no, you can't do this. If the client calls you because you did all the marketing, y'all, I promise I'm gonna get back to the topic. But if your client called you because you did the marketing, your Google business profile, you handed out business cards, still assist that client, right? Just have somebody else that can do it. Obviously, you guys can't do a lot of communicating, a lot of speaking, and all that kind of stuff. But have I personally was still because I can muddle my way through Spanish, but I still take those appointments and I send them out and I let them know, hey, because my marketing is the one that got this appointment, not yours, right? It just depends. And I will say, this is the situation, this is what needs to happen, but I know what my notary buddies charge. If I know I'm just going to make up a number. If I know they're going to charge 65 to go out and do this, I will tell the client it will be 65. Also, there's an additional, $5 charge in there because I'm going to get $5 from it. Right. And I tell my notary buddy, this is the price. They're going to be paying $70. We already have everything confirmed. When they collect that 70, go ahead and send me 5 because compensate me for my efforts. It doesn't have to be a lot. I'm not going to be crazy greedy. It was an extra $5 because I know that person's going to charge 65. Right. And I have some people I'm like, hey, they can only pay 65. That notary is so thankful that they will still kick me $5 back. Some notaries don't kick me anything back, and that's okay. It's not mandatory. Right. But if I'm busting my butt marketing, I should at least have something because for the last 4 years, I've just operated 5 years. The last 5 years, I just operated by saying, you know what? It'll come back. It'll come back. I'm still waiting on it to come back. But so y'all, I may be implementing run me my $5 so I can go buy a hot dog. If y'all don't know, I love Sam's hot dogs. That's why I'm almost 200 pounds because I be eating them Sam's hot dogs every time I'm out and about. It's $1.58 for a hot dog and a drink. And if I'm feeling like, I won't say if I'm feeling in myself that day, I'll get a treat as well. And I have lunch for $3.28. You can't beat that. I'm balling on a budget. Anyway, let's keep on going. If I see any, Jamel, how are you? How are you, Jamel? If I see any other questions, I'll address them. So number 3, following a consistent process. Number 3, where are we? Number 3, follow. That is an F. That's how I write my Fs. Follow a consistent E-N-T, I think that's how you spell it, process. Boop, 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 boop. Follow a consistent process. What does that mean? Once you have your process, do not change it. Make sure you're doing the same steps. Same steps every time. 1, 2. And then also, no skipping around. No skipping around. I need water. Y'all can see that? Y'all can't. There we go. So follow your same process every single time. I appreciate the hearts. I really appreciate it. Hey, Gloria, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So following a consistent process is not skipping steps or doing the same steps every single time. Don't jump around, right? I know there's some situations where we may have to jump around, and I will let the signer know. I will say, hey, again, set those expectations. This is a little bit different than we normally flow. And we will take care of a few documents first. It will be a little bit out of order, but you guys, I know my process very well that as soon as I get those out of the way, I put them right back where they go, and then we go back through in order. And when we get to those documents that we've already taken care of, I'm like, we've already addressed this one, so I'm going to keep going. Is that okay? I always ask questions. Even though I'm guiding everything, that's my way of not feeling so bossy. When I'm guiding everything and leading the appointment, I will ask a question. Is it okay? Is that okay? Can we continue? It's just getting them involved. If they say no, then I'm like, okay, then we're going to stop. I'm about to bye. I got other places to be. People don't ever tell me no. They appreciate the, I was talking about this earlier, how the attorneys I work with, they set a particular, you know what, let me hold that for later. No, I can talk about it now. They set a particular precedence with their clients. They have a certain experience, and it's my job, my role, my duty, because it's what I offer, like this is my package service, my offer is to extend that experience to their clients, right? And so I do that as well. And I know it sounds super simple, but asking questions such as, is this okay if we continue, right? We got this knocked out of the way. We've already addressed this one. Do you mind if we just keep continuing? That's part of that damn experience. And they pay me really well for that experience. So anyway, once you get your process nailed down from trial and error, try not to change it because 3 people don't like it. If that's 3 out of 10. There's 7 other people that like your process. Follow your process as long as it's a legal process. Follow that process, right? And then once you have it nailed down, try your darndest not to skip around because that's when you mess up and miss things, right? That's when you mess up and miss things. Who said I look good for 200 pounds? Why, thank you. No, none of y'all said it. Tell me I look good for 200. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Look, I'm 5'7". I should not be almost 200 pounds. I just tell myself that it's muscle, not cookies, right? It's muscles, not cookies. Let's keep on going. Number 4, double check everything before you leave. Oh, come on. I'm glad I didn't write on the wall. Number 4, double check everything. And that's going to be double check everything before you leave. What does that mean? Go through your documents. I guess I should write some stuff on here for you, right? Your certificate, your seal. Oh, number 1, your certificate. Certificate. Number 2, your notary seal. I know we're getting low on the board. I probably should have raised the board up some more. And number 3, what are we going to say there? Make sure nothing's missed, but let's just say nothing missed. Let's just write that. Nothing missed. All right, what does this mean? Pretty self-explanatory, right? Double check every single thing before you leave. Every single thing before you leave. Other camera, can you guys see it? Nope, it is cut off. I knew I was writing a little bit too low tonight. There we go. Now y'all should be able to see it. Your notary certificate, is it completed? Is it completed properly based on your state's law? Make sure that's a thing. Every state is slightly different, so follow your state's laws, right? One of the things I talked about before is some common mistakes that I see. It's going to be what's called the venue. I'm just going to write it up here so everybody can see. The venue, because there we have the state. So whatever state that you were notarizing in, and then we have the other thing, where some states is going to say the Commonwealth, the parish, but for a lot of us it says county, right? So we have the county. So it'll be state of whatever and county of, and then y'all should know this. We should know this. Who's taking a gold star home tonight? When we're doing documents and we come to the venue, what do we put in the county section? If y'all got parishes, whatever, what do you put in the parish section, right? Do we put the one there where we live? Do we put where we're commissioned? Put a 1 if it's where you live or where you were commissioned. Put a 2 in the chat if it's where your feet are planted at that moment of that notarization. Let me know. What do you guys think? Number 1, if it's where you live or commissioned as a notary, or number 2, wherever you're physically standing when that notarization happens. And this includes those of you who do Ron, wherever your butt is when you're notarizing, right? 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2. Perfect. I see lots of 2s. Data says you put the county, right? Perfect. So we're going to put the county of where the notarization is actually taking place, not where we get commissioned. I told you this earlier. I have an attorney. I'm correcting every single one of her documents. I told her before. I believe I mentioned it before, right? And she's like looking at all the scans. She's like, you're correcting all the notary sections. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, why? And I was like, because the venue is supposed to be filled out where I am physically standing, not where your office is. She had no idea. And she's been working with notaries for years. And I was like, no, it's where I'm physically standing. Right? And she was like, I had no idea. I'm like, apparently you didn't. And so now she knows that she either knows, like, obviously if we're signing at the client's house, and of course, if she pulls the deed, she knows what county we're in. So she puts it there. But a lot of times she just leaves it blanks for me. She just leaves it blank so I can write it in, because we will have last minute changes. And she just leaves all of that up to me to do, right? If the client's like, you know what, hey, can we meet? This actually just happened. The client was like, can we meet at my daughter's house instead? I was thrilled because the daughter's house only 20 minutes. The client's house was an hour from me. I was like, heck yeah, we can meet at your daughter's house, right? Obviously, an hour away versus 20 minutes away, that put me in a completely different county. Luckily, she left it blank so I can write it in, right? And so that's kind of how we've worked it out. It's like, just leave it blank just in case, right? But when we have the clients that are like 80 years old, they're not going nowhere. We go into their house. Or if they're in an assisted living facility, they're not going anywhere. So those, my attorneys will fill in. I appreciate fan club stuff. Let's see. Put the county up. Okay, cool. The hearts, the fans. I appreciate it, yo. You guys, I appreciate it. Next, number 5. Are we blazing through this at a good time tonight? I don't know. I don't have a timer. Oh my gosh, we're already there. What the heck? Okay. I thought I was doing well and getting going faster, but apparently I'm not. So let's do number 5. Close the appointment properly. Oh man, I gotta squat down again. Number 5. Close appointment properly. Number 1, collect payment. Number 2, next steps. Number 3, what else do we want to say over there? I didn't tell you this last time. Documents. Doc handling. There's something I missed earlier. Now I just lost it. Okay, so the last step, let me tweak this camera. I decided that I'm going to set my board up differently so I can just move the board back and forth instead of having to constantly readjust 2 to 3 cameras. So number 5, close the appointment properly. Whew. Close the appointment properly. So if you're doing what's called general notary work or you're getting paid right then and there at the table, go ahead and collect your payment, right? That's the 5th step. Also, somewhere in here, make sure you do one of these. Ask for that review. Please go, oh, now the mic's in your way. There you go. Ask for a review somewhere in here, wherever you feel comfortable, wherever it fits in. Both in this bucket, collect your payment. Also, I always let the client know the next steps. If I'm notarizing documents and it was theirs, they supplied it, there are no next steps. My next step is to get my payment and get up out the house, right? But that's not always. The next step is for them to leave me a review, right? Let's say that. That's the next step. Leave me a review. But if I am bringing the documents because I'm coming on behalf of one of my attorney clients, I let them know. Now that everything is fully pause. Before we get here, while I'm over here, while I'm double checking to make sure nothing was missed, this makes a reappearance. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, remember this notary journal I told you all about earlier? It's making a reappearance. I just need you to go ahead and sign, and your signature shows that we did meet today. It verifies that we met today, and I need you to initial right next to it because that initial signifies that I did put you under Georgia oath, right? Then I go to step 5. Signing, saying that we met today, and we execute your documents, and the initial says that I did put you under oath. Keep going. So now we're over here, collect your payment, ask for a review. The next steps, if I'm taking the documents with me, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the next steps right now is now that we have everything fully executed, I'm going to take these documents back to my home office. I'm going to scan them and immediately send the copies over to the attorney, right? So I will immediately send a digital copy over to the attorney. And from there, it depends. It depends on which attorney I'm working with because we'll have a different branch. If it's one of the attorneys that just has me help with all the admin, I can tell them additional things, right? I said, once I get back to my home office, get these scanned and off to the attorney, it's going to take about a week to give me about a week. And your document, your binder, not your documents, but your binder, your estate planning binder will be sent out to you. It'll be on its way to you, whether I'm going to ship it or hand deliver it. What happens in that week? I even let them know. It's like during that week, your deed, if there is a deed, the attorney will be filing your deed with the county. In Georgia, it takes like 2 days, if that. Oh no, my phone's dying. It takes 2 days, if that, in the state of Georgia. But I tell them, give me a whole week, right? And if it shows up before a week, fantastic. But if it shows up at that week mark, they know that I was still within the range, right? But if the attorney is taking care of everything, I will say, let me say this. I said this before. I know my attorney's processes because I asked them. I ask them. We have conversations. I take notes. I type that conversation up, and we have another conversation. You see these red marks? That's where I got things wrong, right? And they're like, nope, that's not actually how it works. Like they don't have to tell me this. They 100% don't have to tell me this. But you know why they do? Because I can continue the experience all the way through for the client. They'll tell me how their process and their systems work, and then I can relay that information. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just telling them what's going to happen because I work with these attorneys. I was like, you know what? This attorney generally will get, let's just use the same example. This attorney will get everything put in a binder for you, and they typically get it shipped out and back over to you within 14 days. Right? Within 14 days. I just let them know what the next steps are so they're not waiting. And document handling, of course, make sure you get the documents back to whoever you got them from. That's attorney, title company, signing service, wherever you're sending the documents. I don't think you ever sent. No, that's not true. There are some title companies that are also signing services. So get them their documents back, whatever y'all doing. So there we go. That's that. You guys are very welcome for questions that I answered. One thing that I did want to talk about. Did we do everything? I think we did. Quick reminders. Oh, slow down at the beginning. Set your own pace. Make sure if the client is all worked up, you don't match their energy. We don't match energy. I know some people are like, oh, that's energy you bring in, let me bring it. No, we don't match energy. And that's mostly towards the negative energy, right? But if your client's happy and upbeat, you still keep the pace, but like don't be like Eeyore, right? Let me move this camera up because I think y'all looking at my kneecaps at this point. And yes, they are ashy. Mind your business. They are. I was outside doing some what do you call weeding today. I was outside with my dogs and we were pulling weeds for a little bit. As I was on the phone with somebody, I'm like, well, no, it's gonna be an hour-long call, so let me go outside and pull some weeds. Okay, let's keep on going. So any last minute thing for my notes, slow down at the start, stay in control. Do not try to fix things later. Oh, I didn't talk about that, the certificate. If you mess up on your certificate, by law, remember this, the Power of Five, I normally mention during here, but during the Power of Five, like this is a notarial act, at least defined for me in the state of Georgia. A lot of your states are very similar, may have a little bit of tweaks. But if you do all of this in front of the client and then you get home, you send documents back, there's a mistake on your notarial section, your notarial block, right? If you had to sign and stamp in front of the client, what makes you think that you can make corrections not in front of that client? Especially if you have to do the entire thing over. Like if you had a page that was attached and the client did not have to sign that page, or if the client signed the page before and all your stuff was on the second page, the next page, and you filled it out and it was all wrong, what makes you think that you can correct that not in front of the client? Like that's illegal, by the way. And so I know a lot of signing services and title companies will push us to do that. They're pushing us to do that to get the job done, to get the order closed, to get it fixed so everybody get paid and they can keep on moving and people don't lose rate locks and all that kind of stuff. I'm using that scenario because that's where I see it happen the most. Because guess what? None of them care about your commission because none of them issued your commission. So if you get in trouble for that, what seems like super tiny act, they don't care. There's like 50 other notaries they can call on tomorrow when they got to do another one. So they don't care about your commission and things and asking you to do something incorrectly. They just care about the job moving forward. And I know some people like, well, Ladero, how do you know? Or like, we hear that stuff and we start to believe it. I know because I worked in that space. You guys, before I was a notary, I was an investor. And during the time when I was getting my real estate investing business off the ground, I did property management. I also was an escrow assistant at a title company. I'm not saying our office did illegal stuff, but being in that space, I would go to other title companies, right? If I was the one for the office going to pick up documents, hand deliver documents, why would I FedEx it when they're 10 minutes down the street? Let me just go courier these bad boys over there so we can keep the job moving. And the things that I saw, if those walls could talk, everybody would be in jail except for your boy Truly. because I ain't break no laws. But I can say this as a work notary, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I'm being 100% honest with you. So in essence, I probably did break some laws unknowingly. But guess what? If I would have gotten in trouble, it didn't matter if I knew the law or not, right? It didn't matter if my escrow officer told me to do it or not, or the lender told me to do it or not. I'm in charge of my commission, nobody else. Not a mentor, not a coach, not escrow, not title, not lender, none of them. So let's keep any questions. Any questions? Let's see. I see one that says, "Is SignX a good service provider to sign up with? $2.99 for a year of service." I have SignX. I've never. I thought you said SignX, like the signing service company. I think they moved to Signature Excel or something. It's been a minute, but I don't know. Sharice, I have never heard of them. Let me give you guys a rule of thumb for me. If I'm looking at any platform and it does cost, I believe that we should pay in business, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I just come from a world where I had to pay to play. And for whatever reason, in the notary space, people don't believe that should be a deal. And that's okay. That is totally okay, right? But when it comes to like these platforms that are asking you for $300 for the year, I would be open to it if I had the money. But even if I have the money, I would be open. I need to see some stuff. I need to see more stuff. I need to see clientele. Like, well, they're probably not going to give you all that information, but I need to see who's using your platform. First of all, is what I'm doing, are those clients on your platform? If you're doing loan signings, how many title, how many escrow, how many people, how many signing service owners? I don't know what that platform is. I'm just using these examples, right? How many of them are actually on your platform? How much traffic that are you driving through there that's actually kicking out dollars? I need to know that first. If you can't tell me that, then I can't work with you. I don't care. I'm a business owner. You're a business owner. What makes you think you're a higher business owner than I am? You can't complete the job without me. I can get business without you, right? Part two that I need to know is what is happening in my area. Like, I understand, like, that's what people sign up for these signing service lists with 300 signing services on it. And like, did you check and see if that signing service was a boutique signing service that only operates in South Carolina? You're in Florida. Every 3 years, you're going to get one assignment from them. Is it worth paying money to play when you get one assignment? I need you to have stuff in my area, right? And again, they may not want to answer these questions. And if they don't, I just keep going. That's how I operate. That is how I operate. So hopefully that does help. Let's see. Next question. It's no longer legal. Hold on. Where's my mouse? I need to scroll back up. Any customer service jobs is like that. Any customer service job is no longer legal. Dennis, tell me what recap what you were saying. Cherie says, I need an electronic signature provider. I don't mind paying. I just want a good company. Oh, is that what they are? See, I didn't even know. I had no idea what they are. So look, Dennis, I think Income Journey just commented. Because if you're talking about Ron stuff, I can't do Ron. Not yet anyway. So I know some people that I can connect you with. Where are you? Sharice, where are you? What state are you in? Did you already tell me that? Where are you? Where are you located? So there is Blue Notary mentioned. So look into that. Make sure that they are allowed in your state. Because I know some states don't allow certain couriers or businesses or whatever it is, providers. I don't know the words because it's not my space. I'm looking at all the chat. So check your state to see if that's allowable. But also, where'd you say? Oh my gosh, there's too many things happening all at once. You're in Illinois. I don't know if they're okay. Blue Notaries in all 50 states. Cool. Not Georgia. They're not, because we can't do it. So nobody can sign up. Like, they can get clients from Georgia, but we can't sign up to be on Blue Notary, right? So that's what I mean. Like, your provider has to be approved to be a provider for your state. Some states don't have that as a rule. They're like, as long as they meet these criteria, you go with anybody. Some states are like, nope, they have to meet this criteria. They have to get all the information into us, and then the states will post on their website who you can actually use, right? I've seen that because I don't do Ron, but a lot of my notary buddies do. And I just asked them, I was like, hey, how do we do this? Like, can I pay for a full session, right? Just so I can experience it. I've done it before. Um, but what I was gonna say, so yeah, look at Blue Notary because somebody said that Amy. I don't know what Amy's new, not new last name is. I don't know what Amy's name is now. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She was in Ohio. She moved to Florida. It used to be Amy Sites. I don't know what her name is now, but she is on TikTok as well. Crap, just send me a message in the back channel. That's who I'll refer you to. And Amy, if I'm sorry, Amy, I'm gonna have people blowing up your phone in your chat. She can give you way better guidance than I can. Why? Because Amy owned a wrong platform. She built it from the ground up. I used to use it all the time because I have clients in New York. I have clients in other states. I have clients in New Mexico. I would hop onto her platform because I was signed up on her platform as a signing service owner, even though I'm technically not, right? I signed up on her platform and other platforms too. So it's not just her. So not like breaking laws. I signed up that way. And so when my clients verify that their documents can be accepted if they're remotely notarized, and I can't get anybody to them, I can't find anybody in Mexico, I can't find anybody. New York sounds crazy not to find anybody, but sometimes I just can't, right? And so I put them on Ron. I go to Amy's web. Well, it's no longer. She changed businesses, but this is in the past. I would go to their website. I will request a session. I would text one of the notaries that I know is on that program on her site, and I will be like, "Hey, I need this done this day. Can you do it?" And they'll say yes, no, or maybe so. And I just booked everything through there, right? They told me how much it was going to cost. I went ahead and paid it. And then I collected all the funds once everything was done from my client, right? Because in my business, I collect after it's done most of the time. If you being sketchy, I'm going to make you pay up front. But in those situations, once the documents were notarized, they did not go directly to the client. That's why I set up the appointment because they come directly to me. And if you don't pay, you don't get your documents. They've already been notarized. Everything's already been done. So I don't know if I said that. I set it up so I can get the documents, right? And then once they pay, I forward everything to them because it's all electronic. It's all electronic. That's why I set up as a third-party vendor on those sites. So anyway, let's keep on moving. Any thoughts on using electronic journal versus physical one? Oh, Bevy, I can tell you that because you're out here with me in Georgia. I would prefer, I'm not going to lie, I would prefer to use an electronic journal. I have tried an electronic journal. The only thing I don't like is the recurring cost, but again, that's you got to pay to play, right? You got to pay to play. In my business, remember who I work with. I work with attorneys that focus on estate planning, elder law attorneys, personal injury, and also probate. So estate planning and probate, it's always probate's always in the air because you never know. But estate planning is in the air as well. But when it comes to personal injury and also elder law, they do not sign electronically very well, right? We will execute the documents pen and paper because we have to in Georgia. But when it comes to them signing my journal, the signature in my journal will not match what's on that paper. This is why I personally stopped using electronic journal because of my clientele, right? I've been called by attorneys 3 different times because people wanted to contest or they were going through probate and they were trying to fight the documents because mom, dad, uncle, cousin, whoever it was that signed these documents did not sign this and they did not mean this. I've been called 3 separate occasions by attorneys. It happens. I had my paper journal. I mean, even if I had an electronic journal, I can look at it as well. But in my paper journal, I have that ID. I have the birth date, the expiration date, the issue date, the address that we sign the documents. I have notes in there. And most importantly, the signature on those documents match the signature in this journal. It's never gone further than thank you, Mr. Notary Ladero. Thank you, Mr. Ladero Notary. Can you just go ahead and sign an affidavit and get it notarized and send it back to our office? If you want to think about it as a win versus lose, I won all 3 times because I have the proof that they did it. They were there. They were competent in the moment based on my notary, what I can do as a notary to gauge their competency, right? It was all good to go. I won all 3 times. So if I didn't, y'all will know I'll have a GoFundMe and y'all be bailing me out of jail or something. But I won every single time. That's why, long story short, that's why I use a paper journal because it's easier for me to verify something like that. because electronically, have you seen? I'm just gonna be for real. Have you seen old people signing electronically? I do sign nice as electronically. I make sure it's nice because of what I do. But a lot of times they just go, ugh. And I'm like, Clear, can you do this again, please? I need it to match. Because who's to say that Ladero just didn't go, ugh, right? So that's why I stopped using my electronic one. I would prefer it because it makes my life so much easier. Because the one I was using, I don't even remember what it was. I just scanned the barcode on the back of their ID. I would scan it, it pulls all the information over. And if it's a fake ID, obviously it's not going to pull the information over. So I like that a lot because it did add a level of security for me, right? But now I just get really good at looking at IDs and verifying it myself. Yeah, I got fooled like that. I paid 400 and not a single one from some software. Yeah, right. And regarding what were you talking about? Yes, Blue Notary, Chicago. Got it. Left out. Well, yep. Do you ever offer training aside from TikTok Live? Yes. Real quick, the link in my bio. For those of you guys on the tubes, it's the link in the comments. There's a link in my bio. If you go to it, I know that I don't know if you did. You say you're going to make it on Saturday or Sunday? You're going to make it on Sunday if it works. Why do you keep scaring me? But if you go to my link at go to my profile, right? Get to my profile. There's a link in my bio. If you click it, it gets you over to this screen. Just say yes. Click the big red button to keep on going, right? On this screen, the first thing that's there is for you to register for the notary event that's happening this Sunday. If you can't make it, fantastic. You're gonna be there. I would love it, right? If you scroll down, right past that, there's a section that says training and mentorship. I do offer mentorship and training, but it's through. Oh my gosh, hold on, you guys got hiccups. It is through Notary Academy, right? Notary Academy is where I have planted my flag because they have an amazing system that I like to plug into. You guys, I am an advisor. I'm the Georgia advisor for Notary Academy, and also I am one of their national advisors. There's only 7 of us, right? And I'm one of 7 of their national advisors. But I was a student of theirs for a minute before I took on this advisor role. So that should let you know something about the education. It's good, and I've re-recorded a lot of it, right? But anyway, inside of there, we have what's called the inner circle. If you click on this thing that says inner circle, did I click it? There, it's moving around. We have the inner circle. So in the inner circle, you get a lot of stuff. You get self-paced training, right? You get notary foundations. So across the entire country, there's going to be some foundations that every notary needs. We teach you that it's self-paced. Go through it at your own leisure. Make sure you understand. Ask questions. There's also business foundations. There's also time management. There's a few other courses in there. And also you get access to the entire advisor team. That is part of, hold on, please pause. And also in the inner circle, we have live training Monday through Friday. Every Monday through Friday, every day is a certain topic. Mondays, Kim talks all about loan signing. Tuesdays, off the top of my head, we talk about notary foundations. Wednesdays, we talk about, and we have 2 sessions on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Wednesdays, earlier in the day, which is 12 p.m. Pacific, so 3 p.m. Eastern for us. They talk about fraud, right? Like fraud prevention. And then later session, that's when you normally will see me in the evenings. It's already live around this time anyway, so sometimes I just switch and go over there. We will talk about anything that I specialize in or any specialties within the notary space. It's not just me. I will rotate with the other 6 advisors, right? Thursday, we talk about marketing in the earlier session. And then the later session, we do another spotlight session. Tonight, we are going to be talking about apostilles. Actually, that is going to be starting in 10 minutes. So I need to go over there. I need to wrap this up and get over there. We're going to be talking about apostilles in the inner circle. And on Friday, it's a come celebrate with us. It's open. It's free for every single notary in the nation. We celebrate wins. We also do micro coaching based on your questions. So it's come ask us questions and we'll coach you through it. That's what you get. That's $37 a month. So I'm almost done. But also over here, if you're in one of these states, like when you click that link, there's a list of states. If you're in Arizona, California, Colorado, Georgia, Massachusetts, Texas, or Washington, you get what is called Inner Circle Plus. My phone's dying. We had 13%. I got to be quick. 13%. So if you're in Arizona, California, Colorado, Georgia, Massachusetts, Texas, or Washington, you get what's called, again, Inner Circle Plus. And what does that mean? You still get everything, but you also get an advisor. So if you sign up here in Georgia, I am your direct advisor. You will get, my speaker just died too. Everything's dying on me. You will get specific Georgia training. So if you need anything about Georgia, to know stuff, if you're in Georgia, I got you, obviously, right? So that's why we call it Inner Circle Plus, because you get an advisor, a notary that's been doing that business in that state for a number of years, not a year, not 2 years. I'm hitting the benchmark. I'm the one with the lowest credentials, if you will, and I've been doing it for 5 years in Georgia. Everybody else has been there at the 10-year, 15, 25-year mark for our other advisors. I'm the baby in the group, but at the same time, I'm the nerd that will sit down and read the House bills and the Senate bills, so I understand what is changing for us in the state, in the state of Georgia as notaries, right? That's why, and also all my business, all the years of business. Even though I'm a newer notary at 5 years, I've been in business for myself since 2013, and yeah, I've been an entrepreneur for a real long time. So anyway, that's that. That's all that in there. Y'all can look at it at your own pace. But one quick thing: if we go back a page, if we scroll down past the mentorship and everything, there is a section that says downloadable resources. I'm gonna need y'all to grab these. So we have the Power 5. It's there. It's the first one. You just click on it. I don't ask for your email. I don't ask for a phone number. Just click on it. It's yours, right? You click on it, it opens. I don't need all that kind of stuff. We also have the acknowledgement versus jurat explainer. This is something that a lot of notaries need. There is a page, if you're on TikTok, there is a video on my profile. It is the first video. I think I have it pinned. It's the first pinned video. That video goes with this free resource, the acknowledgement versus jurat explainer. Those go together. So watch the video, download it, and work through it, whatever you need to do. And then, oh, this is from tonight. Okay, notes from tonight. So everything I talked about tonight, I made it a really nice little PDF for you guys. So it's all there. It's easier because if you couldn't see the board, if I was talking too fast, all of it's there as well. So you can go and look at that. And for those of you who are curious, you're in Georgia, y'all keep asking me this conversation, and I'm tired of having it. If y'all want to know why I don't do loan signings, there it is right there. I literally put that on there right before we started. So if y'all want to know why Ladero does not do loan signings, it requires some reading. But it's a Supreme Court law that dictates loan signings for the state of Georgia. So this is what I will say. Do notaries in Georgia still participate in loan signings? Do they still call themselves loan signing agents? They do. I did, right? But once I learned all the stuff, I stopped because it's not worth the penalties are not worth it to me. Oh crap, my phone. Okay, I'm back. The penalties are not worth it. But there are other notary trainers, other notaries. They've been doing it for 15, 20 years. That's totally fine. Everybody speeds, but it's always that one person that get caught. I'm not trying to get caught. I don't want to be that example, right? Everybody speeds, but only one person gets caught. So, but I say do you. Like, I do not issue your commission. Neither does the other notary mentor or trainer, coach, or another notary buddy. Even if you work in a law firm, that attorney that you work for that has you do all this stuff does not give you your commission. So therefore, if you get in trouble and get caught, they will not defend you. He who giveth can take it awayeth, right? And that for us, for in the state of Georgia, is the clerk's authority, the Superior Court clerk. Actually, that's their official title. But for some of you guys, it's your Secretary of State. If your Secretary of State tell you can't do it, then don't do it. I don't get it. But anyway, I think we're good. Let me answer some last questions because his phone's about to die, and I need to go over to the Inner Circle and support Phil because Phil is going to be he's in Colorado. He's our Colorado advisor. He's going to be talking about how he does apostilles. And then I'm not going to do it this month. Next month, I'm going to talk about how I do apostilles. So that's the benefit. You guys, in the Inner Circle, you're getting to see all of us do them. I think only one advisor doesn't do apostilles, and it's because she owns a signing service. She already has enough going on. And I think 3 of the 7 advisors, maybe 4 of the 7 advisors own signing services, right? So there's a good mix of people in there. And so we may repeat the same topic, but you're getting it from a different perspective, right? Because me building a business without loan signings is extremely different from the other 6 advisors who can build a business from loan signing. My business runs completely different than theirs. Anyway, will there be another meetup in Georgia? Unfortunately, I can't make this one due to scheduling. Alpreneur, yes, I am already working on the next one. It will be in the city of Lawrenceville because one, that's close enough to me. That's still like 30 minutes away. But I'm gonna go there because there's a business owner that I made a connection with 4 years ago, and I just went and revisited her location. It's a tea shop, and she is doing really well. And so I told her, once her business gets up and running, I will come and support it. So we're going to have the event at her location. It's going to be a much smaller event. It's going to be more intimate. I think I'm going to cap out at 25 people max. And remember, the presenters will take up 3 of those spots because I like to keep events smaller on purpose and do more of them because I can talk to everyone. I can get to know you. I can see where you are in your business. And I have time right then and there to sit at the table and draw out a plan specifically for you. Right? That's why I like to keep my meetup smaller. So if y'all come to a meetup of mine, this one I'm hosting with someone else, and the goal is to get way more people in there. Anyway, one last question. California. Who is that? Bain Max in California. I'm not in California. I'm in Georgia. Notary Academy is based in California. Maybe. I don't know. What are you asking? Facts. That one thing I do not like about Ryan is everybody verification recording for. Do you know of someone in Illinois that provides training? If not, I will Google it. Charisse, like I say, we can still help you in Notary Academy, but if you want somebody specifically in Illinois, look up Notary Guild on here. Is that her name is Dion? Let me see. My phone's about to die. Let me see if I can answer your question real quick. If I go to TikTok. She sometimes will hop on my lives. I hop on her live. She hop on mine. We support each other. I don't think TikTok. Let's see. Can I get it to load? Give me a second. Give me 30 seconds. If somebody put it in the chat already, thank you. But I'm looking up her name right now. I'm going to copy and paste it and put it in the chat. She is specifically in Illinois. Oh, crap. I'm on my business account. So Notary Guild, I think Notary Guild, because she changed her handle, so I don't know what it is now. The Notary Guild, that's what it is. Okay, her name is Dion. She's out in Illinois. She is a notary. She's been one for decades, like maybe 15, 20 years or something like that. I don't know for sure. Don't make me lie to you. But she's also a court reporter, so she has a good mix of information. So bam, bam, bam. That's not what I was trying to do. But anyway, it's the Notary Guild. The Notary Guild founder. There we go. I'm putting it in the chat, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap up because I do need to go over and support Phil because I got 2 minutes to get there. So there you go. Do you think Ron will be allowed anytime in Georgia in the future? Gaming videos, you just missed it. If you're curious, it's a lot of reading. I'm not going to lie. Go look up House Bill HB 289. All 20, well, there's 26 pages, and I think 24 pages specifically talks about Ron in Georgia. This just happened last month. We can't do it yet, but we have instructions on how it's to be done. So go look that up, HB. It took me 2 hours to get through this and understand it. I'm a slow reader when it comes to legalese, but anything else, I'm a real fast reader. So with that being said, I got to go, you guys. I appreciate you being here. I will be back, not tomorrow, because I will not do an early session tomorrow because I'm going to be too nervous because these people coming here to take my blood, to take my weed, my urine, right? I'm signing up for different insurance, and they need me to do a physical, and they're just coming to my house. I'm like, hell yeah, if you're going to come to my house for me to do a physical. So I'm going to be too nervous to come talk to y'all because I'm going to be passing out because I don't like blood. I do not do well with it. So I will see y'all 7, 8. I will see y'all at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. if I recover. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Bye. I can't play my outro song because my speaker died. Bye, y'all.